Hi, I'm Rabbi Donn, and I am the founder of Beit David in Caldwell, New Jersey, which is the first fully vegan shul in the United States. I am also known as the Health Rabbi. And I've started this blog because in the Jewish community, particularly in the observant from Jewish community, there is this strong belief that eating meat for Shabbos and Yom Tov is a good thing, it's a praiseworthy thing, and this is actually an errant idea. There has recently a book been written in Israel called Lifnei Iver by the author. His name is Asa Kaiser, and I just recently finished the English translation for it, which I'll link into this video below. This vlog is going to go through, in this vlog, we will go through the book, various sections talking about modern animal agriculture today versus in the past, the purpose of animals, the purpose of sacrifices, and various other highly charged topics regarding animals. And this book, Lifnei Iver, collates all of the plant-based values that have been in the Torah and that are in the Torah, whether it's the Adam and Eve's initial diet, the Torah, the Nevi'im, Ksuvim, the Rishonim, the Acharonim, the Gemara, of course. And most people would be very, very shocked to see how deeply aligned a plant-based diet is with Yiddishkeit, normative Yiddishkeit. Many people believe today that a plant-based diet, a vegan diet, is something dangerous and it's a left-wing conspiracy to change the world. And nothing can be further from the truth. Of course, Adam and Eve's diet was plant-based. The ultimate diet in the days of Mashiach will be a plant-based diet. And so, and as we'll cover in this blog, no less than 8 prophets cried out to the Jewish people that God does not want your sacrifice. God wants your hard work. And you'll see many rabbis from Abarbanel to the Rambam to Rabbi Hirsch to Rav Yosef Karo talking about not eating animals, that it is not a praiseworthy thing. In fact, you'll hear what the Arizal has to say about eating animals, and to many it will be a shock. Recently I was in Brooklyn, where I spoke to a group of striving vegans. In other words, they were trying to get healthy and become plant-based eaters. And after I got finished talking, a young yeshiva student basically took a chumash and threw it down on the table and said, I practice a vegan diet. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. I think it's the best diet and optimal for human health. But you can't tell me that it correlates with the Torah, because there's a whole book of Vayikra, of Leviticus, which deals with sacrificing animals. And I said to him, if you think that the Torah is perfect, yes, God is perfect, the Torah is perfect, and this diet is perfect, and you don't think perfect and perfect correlate, then there's something you don't understand. If you think that science, on one hand, explains something, and you think that it conflicts with Torah, then you don't understand either the science or you don't understand the Torah. Go back, turn it over again until you understand it. And so we will discuss in this vlog a very serious question. How can there be an entire book of Vayikra which is dedicated to sacrifices if eating and killing animals is such a negative thing? I would like to share with you something that I realized a few months ago, and it really rocked my world. And I think it will rock yours as well. Moshe Rabbeinu, who is the man who splits seas. If he sees an Egyptian harassing a Jew, he takes care of it. If he sees a Midianite harassing women, he takes care of it. You need water, he takes care of it. He goes up to Mount Sinai and up to the heavens, and all of the angels want to oust him out from heaven. he takes care of it. You sin with a golden calf, he takes care of it. Everything that there's a problem with, Moshe is there to take care of the Jews. But when they ask for meat, he folds his hands and he says, God, did I birth these children that you ask me to take care of them like this? He wants nothing to do with this situation. The man of action, literally, who brought down the law, who split waters and did miracles, who faced off against the most mighty people of that day. When it comes to asking him for meat, he wants no part of it. This is not what he signed up for. He goes to God and says, I'm not touching this. It is shocking. It is absolutely shocking that Moshe Rabbeinu, who literally is the man of action, who, if a sheep needs help, he's there. And yet, when you come to ask for meat, he does not want any part of this. He walks away, turns his back, says, I'm not dealing with this, in the most strong language in the Torah. You could sin. You can want water from a rock. He'll do that for you. But you want meat, he wants no part of it. And I think that we need to look at that and really recognize that stark reaction that Moshe has, because he understands that in the Torah, anytime meat is mentioned, it links it with the word ta'ava. Ta'ava is, if anyone went to yeshiva, they know that their Rebbes had railed against taivas. You have to break your taiva. A taiva, ta'ava, is a base desire. It's something that's deep, and it brings us down to the level of an animal. An animal has its nature. It smells something, it'll want to eat it. Its sexual desire, it's just going to go after it. It has no ability to resist using their intelligence and their soul, their physical urges. But a taiva is related with this physical urge that you have no desire. You're overpowered by it. And and that's why our Rebbes would always rail against it, because we should rise above our taivas and be stronger than it. Just because you have a desire, it doesn't mean that you have to immediately obtain it. The Torah, anytime it mentions eating meat, always links meat eating with the word ta'ava. In fact, when's the first mention of that word? When Eve sees the apple. It says, Ki ta'avahu la'einayim. It was a taiva. It was an inner urge that she could not hold back. That word, which is so charged in Judaism, is linked integrally with meat eating throughout the Torah. So meat eating is not one of those praiseworthy things. In fact, we'll see later on in this vlog that there are those who say, if you're going to eat meat, close the curtains, do it late at night when no one is around, go into a closet. In other words, it's a behavior that you should be ashamed of, that your inner desire got the better of you and you can't stop yourself. I know these are strong words, and perhaps for some, if you're still listening, this is the first time you've encountered these ideas. But as you'll see in this vlog, through the book Lifnei Iver, throughout time, these ideals have been spoken about in Judaism. So this is the end of the first session. It just gets better from here. The upside of the whole thing is that a plant-based diet is optimal for human health. It's beautiful. It's clean. I know that's an overused word today. It is tasty. It's beautiful, delicious, and it will keep you healthy and out of the hospital. Okay, so any questions, you can, of course, submit them below, and I will link up my current translation of Lifnei Iver, which it needs some editing, but it's still very, very readable. So, wishing you Shabbat Shalom. This is Rabbi Donn Gross.